First part of the tour here. Here's a spot which represents where Jesus was seized and condemned to death, and he started his walk towards the crucifixion. Now, behind you, you can see there the letters in the leg sometimes flash on and off, but it's I and R-I, in the sense where Jesus Nazarenos Rex Judaeorum, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. Okay, so already welcome to the next stop here. Now, here we have a rock which is sculpted into the shape of a cross. This is, of course, a sculpture, as I mentioned now. Perhaps you see a rock behind here. The sculpture of the cross, which is presented in a mark. Now, the rock behind it represents Jesus, and the cross represents the cross that Jesus carried his back away towards the crucifixion. Now, they say use your imagination. There's what else you can see here. Okay? But there you go. Alright, here we have the next stop. Now, this cross here represents the first place where Jesus fell along the route towards crucifixion. Now, I should mention that if you look down here, you've got a bunch of cracks here, these stairs. Now, supposedly these represent the traumatic events that Jesus went through on the walk towards crucifixion. Alright, here we have the next stop. Now, this cross here, this little station right here, represents the place where Jesus met with his holy mother. Now, look at the cross right here, there, down. Now, look at the shape of the room here. It's round. Supposedly that represents unity. Okay, now if you look up there, you got blue lights. That represents Mary, the Holy Mother. Okay. Alright, here at the next stop. Now this is the place where we said it's time to help you to Jesus carry the cross. There's a cross right here. Okay, and we have the room standing wall. The humans are also one of the Simon is helping him carry the cross. Alright, well, the next part of the tour now here. We represent the spot where rock will wipe the face of Jesus. Now, if you look at the rock around here, over here, and then over here, there's a lot of undulations of rock. That supposedly represents the cloth that was used to wipe Jesus' face. Right across right here is supposed to represent the lasting memory of Jesus. Everybody, next stop on the tour now. Here we have a spot where Jesus met with the women of Jerusalem. Now you can see there's a rock right there. There's another one right there. And of course you got the cross. The cross is represented by Jesus, and the rocks represent the women of Jerusalem. Like behind you, supposedly represents the consolation of Jesus being there. Now we're going to continue the turn out. Here we have the spot where Jesus was actually crucified. Now, the miners, what they did is they figured out a huge chamber and a high right there to represent the importance of the moment, which was the solitude of Jesus at the moment when he was crucified. Everybody, here we are at the spot that represents where Jesus actually died from the crucifixion. Look at the cross right there. You can have a look at it there. Okay, that obviously represents where Jesus was. Now, as in the last case, the miners blasted out a chamber over there to show the importance of the moment. But in this case, they did two. There's one back here, you can see it there. Okay. Now, if you look behind you, there's another one there. You can see there's another big chamber right there. Everybody, continue the tour. Now, here we have a spot where Jesus was removed from the cross. Now, as you can see, it's not actually a cross. It's a hole in the wall carved in the form of a cross. So this hollow cross represents the fact that Jesus is no longer with us. But at the same time, the fact that there's a cross is there. It shows that Jesus will always be there with us in spirit. Everybody, here we are at the Holy Sepulchre, which represents where Jesus was laid to rest. Now, there's two important parts to look at here. We have a rock right here, which blocked the entrance so no one can actually get into the chamber. And if you look over here, you have the chamber, which is obviously a little better lit up. This represents the tomb right here. Look at this whole area here, nice rock with crystals on it, salt crystals, all the way down to here. Now, it also represented where Jesus was resurrected. Everybody, continuing the tour. Now, here we are at the domed room. Now, the floor of this room represents humanity and its imperfections. Imperfections and still from this floor. Now, the room is a size here. Okay, now if you look at the ceiling, that represents the celestial world, which we call earth. It's just a lot of stalactites there. Those have nothing to do with any curtains. Those are all just natural processes. Everybody, continue the tour. Now, here we are at the choir chambers. This is where the choir actually sang. Now, if you look over here, it starts over here, you go down here. Now, this is a statue of St. Pierre, which was brought by an Italian artist. Now, here's the idea about the choir. Supposedly, the choir was here to protect the chapel down there. Look at the chapel down there. There you go. However, you continue the tour. Now, here we have the narthex, which has 3 stairways. Now, supposedly they take you either heaven, hell, or back to earth. Now, here we have one right here. See there? there. Maybe this is Earth back here. You be the judge. All right, here we are continuing to now. Here we have one of the chapels here. You can see there's back there. You can see there's a Virgin Mary back there. Now, here we have one of these sculptures here in the little depression of the salt rock. Here we have the Rico, and she's apparently the patron saint for the armed forces. Now, when we look back here, so we got more of the beautiful salt rock. Look over here, we have another beautiful chandelier right there into the rock. Here we have the next part. We call this the waterfall. Now, it's not really a waterfall. They say it looks like one. It's not even just the 100% salt on the wall. Now, look at this way up there. You can sort of see it looks there as a waterfall. But you know what? Coming from Canada, we go to a place like Jasper Map, it almost looks like a frozen waterfall of ice and or snow. All right, buddy, here we have the main chapel. Now, this is the chapel you saw from the choir chamber. Now, you can see there's a great big cross in the back of there. You can see way up there. See that there? Okay, now here's the kicker. It looks like a solid cross, but on further examination, it's actually a hollow cross carved in the rock. See it back there? It's actually a hollow cross. Now, the interesting thing is, from the view of the choir chamber, they look at it and they think it's a solid cross, and they appreciate it as being a really solid cross. Okay, so now we're going to look back here. This is the part of the chapel, and in the distance right here, we have the choir chamber up there. Everybody, continuing the tour. Now, here we have the part where they do the communion, and the priest gives the body of Christ right back here. And we'll look around here, some more of the carvings of the rock right there. Here we are at the small part of the mine. Now, what happened here was they extracted the salt from the mine and they use a lot of it to make products that are good for your skin. Like some of this right here, some salt for your skin right here, cleaning out your pores, good on your hands and your face, onto your body. You can more them here as well. Okay, now they have a couple other products here which were made by some artisans. And of course, the salts were put together by chemists / pharmacists. Everybody, here we're at the next stop mine. If you look right here, this looks like a bit of a depression in the mine, but the reality is it's actually the reflection of the water. It's considered the greatest reflection in all the salt mines here. Now, if you look at the ceiling right there, that's where reflection comes from. Now, the reason for that reflection being so beautiful is that the concentration of water is very, very high in salt, so that explains why it's such a great reflection. Alright, here we are finishing off the tour of the Zipaquirá Salt Cathedral. I must say it was a great tour. I learned a lot of things in there, saw a lot of sculptures and formations, and I learned a lot. Now, I'm introducing you to the wonderful tour guide named Miguel. How are you today?
Fine, thank you very much, Morris. I'm very glad. Morris was a very interesting guest. He made a lot of questions related with the different places, not only here in Zipaquirá, but also in Marroquín. He's going to show you during these videos how was his experience. We are very glad to see you guys right here, to see these awesome places, and to be our, for us, it's going to be like a real pleasure to be your host. So thank you very much again, Morris, to be part of this experience.
Thank you really for that. Now, you work for Transfers in Colombia, correct?
That's right. Just follow us in Transfers in Colombia, Instagram, see the pictures.
And so if you come to Colombia and do this tour, you have to do Transfers in Colombia.